Hello Internet, I'm Jossaway, and this is the start of a new playthrough of a game that I've had my eye on for a while, Timberborn. This is a game where you play as giant beavers in a post-apocalyptic Earth, attempting to build a colony to survive and prosper. This game's been in early access for about 4 years. It's overwhelmingly positively received on Steam. We're going to be playing the 1.0 experimental branch, which brings in all the 1.0 features. This isn't quite fully baked yet, but supposedly it's pretty close to what the 1.0 release is going to be. I have never played it before myself, but I have watched a little bit of one playthrough, so I know a few things. But we're going to learn as we go, probably have lots of disasters and floods and maybe even a failed colony, but we're going to give it a try. So right off the bat, you get to choose your faction. I'm going to start with the Folktales here. Easy-going but hard-working, Folktales are expert farmers. They respect nature, and it rewards them with plentiful bounties. Their motto, comfort, food, and sturdy wood. Okay. I guess we should start with one of the official maps, maybe just the starter map here, lakes. Beginner-friendly. These days, areas rich in lakes and rivers are scarce. What little remains shows that there's still hope for the Earth, though. Okay, so I guess if this is an official map, it's probably, since it's beginner-friendly, I can see there's lots of green, lots of lakes, high river, so lots of flow. I know a few things. I know that there are droughts and bad tides. That's about the extent of what I know. Let's go ahead and select the lakes map, right? It's a big map, 256 by 256. Game mode. Easy. You're still learning or want a relaxed city building experience. Your settlement starts with abundant supply of resources. Beavers consume less food and water. Droughts and bad tides are rare and short. Normal, you want a challenge. Moderate resources, mild at the beginning, but intensify over time. I'm not sure what to choose here. I mean, this is my very first playthrough, and I'm more interested in learning the game and kind of exploring everything that it has to offer, because I'm not sure yet whether I would be interested in playing multiple playthroughs. So we're actually going to play easy here. Look at these little beavers running along their bridge. Okay, so this should be interesting. Let's see how we do. What would you like to call your settlement? Oh my god, an impossible choice right off the bat. Well, let's just go with something simple. How about Beaverton? All right, so right off the bat, let's pause the game. And there's a lot for me to learn here. So with the interface, right, we have over here, 1-1 found food and water, a new beginning. I guess I can zoom in and out. There is a tutorial here. Welcome. This tutorial will help you with all the basics of building a beaver settlement. Every new settlement needs logs. Only lumberjacks will cut trees, so place 2 lumberjack flags next to nearby trees. Okay, and I can maximize and minimize the tutorial. Let's take a look at our map here a little bit. Let me zoom out. Okay. So I can only zoom out so far. Right off the bat, we're in the middle of the map. We've got some berry bushes here for food. Looks like we've got some trees up here, some pine trees. Let's take a look at what pine says. So what are these buttons? Copy settings, duplicate. What does that do? Oh, it centers the camera. Okay. Drought resistance, 13 days. And an unknown beaver poet has written a poem here. Oh, mighty forest, how I pine for thee. Okay, so what is this? 12 days, 100%, 2 logs. 7 days, 0%. What is this? Logs. Days to grow, 12. Gathered by lumberjack flag. Okay, so I'm assuming this one, yeah, this one's at 39%. This one's at 100%. So that tells us how long it's going to take to grow to full and what resources it provides, right? Okay, that makes sense. And then pine resin. Days to grow 7 when mature, gathered by tapper shack. So these provide 2 different resources, either logs or resin. I'm assuming resin's a more advanced thing that we're going to want in the future. Right now, we just need the logs. So we're going to want to plant lumberjack flags to cut this down, I guess. I mean, these are our starter trees. We have another type of tree over here. What is this? Oak? I'm not sure what drought resistance means. I'm guessing it means if we hit a drought and all this water drains away wherever it goes, the tree will stay healthy for 13 days. So if we get water back within 13 days, the tree won't die. These, I believe, are dead trees, right? These up here. Looks like there's no resin available from oak, but over 30 days, we'll get 8 logs. So that's interesting. With a pine, we get 2 logs for 12, or like 5 logs for 30 days. With oaks, we get 8 logs for 30 days. I know you can also have a forester who can plant trees. By the way, I should just straight up tell you guys, this is going to be a pretty slow playthrough because I'm starting as a complete beginner, and I always avoid wikis and strategy guides when I play this type of game. I like to learn at my own pace, so just be aware this is very much a beginner, like actual play, a slow play, a let's play, where I'm going to be learning mainly by reviewing the game's interface. So if that's not what you're into, I totally understand. If it is and you like this type of material, stick around, maybe throw a like on the video, especially because this is the first one. It'll help the series grow. Okay, so I've learned a little bit about trees. Let's take a look at these bushes. These are blueberries. 9 days of drought resistance. I'm not quite sure. Maybe because we're on easy, there's more drought resistance. In the playthrough that I watched, these things like died pretty quickly if there wasn't water. But it looks like there's 2 resources here, or no, 2 measurements here. 12 days to grow to full. And then 12 days to grow berries when the plant is mature. Berries can be eaten raw, meet the basic need, hunger. Okay, it's watered and healthy. All right. So I do see that over here we have some sort of natural slope. Whoever put it there, the beavers are grateful. I could demolish it, but I don't think I want to right now, since I don't have another way to get the beavers up here to harvest this wood. So our starting position has access to just this area here, unless we figure out how to build ramps or stairs or something. That's fine. We've got these bushes. There's these pines up here, the oaks up here. What are these trees? These are birches. 7 days for 1 log, so 4 logs per 28. So the birches grow quick, but they don't have the most efficiency. The pines are slightly better at something like 5. So it's 4 for 30 days, 5 for 30 days, and 8 for 30 days with the oak. Okay. Let's take a look at our interface here. This is all very overwhelming and new for me. There's a lot of stuff to click on. Let's see. Let's just start at the upper right. Manage settlement. Well-being. Okay. So we have a measurement for our population's well-being. The average well-being is 0. Basic needs. Hunger. I guess this is green because 12 out of 12 of my beavers have their hunger needs met. That grants a +1 to their well-being. Thirst, everybody's got water to drink, or they start out fully hydrated and fed and fully rested. So we get +1s from those. Nobody has any shelter, so that's a -3. Apparently they need wet fur, but that's not a negative. It's just a potential positive. Same with nutrition here. Carrots, sunflower seeds, grilled potatoes, grilled chestnuts, grilled spatterdock. Is that a fish? Bread, cattail crackers, maple pastries. Then we have social life, campfire, rooftop terrace, contemplation spot, agora. Is that like a temple? A dance hall. We have aesthetics in the form of shrubs, lanterns, roofs, scarecrows, wind gauge, beaver statue, bulletin pole. Awe from a farmer monument, brazier of bonding, fountain of joy, earth recultivator. Fun, there's something called a detailer, a lido, I don't know what that is. Carousel and mud pit seem pretty obvious. And books for knowledge. Unlocked factions, Iron Teeth. To unlock, reach average well-being of 15 while playing folk tales. Okay. Then if I click on manage my settlement, okay, here's my population of beavers. Looks like I have 8 adults. A Jevnuk. I can rename these. So guys, if you are watching this and you would like a beaver named after you, just throw a comment on the video and I will rename one of my default beavers to you. You can choose whether you want to be a child and go through the full life cycle or start off as, you know what, we'll probably name the kids after you. What is this? They're homeless. He's already assigned to work at the district center. These 4 are on their way to adulthood. Okay. This is the happiness. Working speed. At well-being of 5, their working speed increases by 20%. Good to know. And we have their movement speed. At well-being 2, they get a 5% bonus. And life expectancy, we want a well-being of 5 for that. Okay. Now, what is this view? Global view, District 1. Oh, so I guess there's districts available? That's probably later in the setup. We have other tabs here, housing, workplaces. So we can filter to view more details or drill in to view more details on our population. We got power, well-being, manual migration. Okay, so this would be once we set up districts, which I'm guessing is a much... Yeah, this is a little bit much to deal with right now. What else have we got? We've got a science resource counter. We've got a materials resource counter. Ingredients and food. Okay, we can see here that we have 300 berries stored in... What does that say? I'm not sure if we have 300 harvested. Is that maybe stored in this district center? We have water... and bad water. Okay. Hold on. Let's continue looking at our... We have a quick view here of adults and children. This is occupied beds, free beds, and homeless. And this is 2 workers, 0 vacancies, 6 unemployed. This is our, like, diary, our lodge of stuff that's happening. Okay, so... We have 2 workers employed here. Let's see. This is the district. This is the district center. District 1. Okay, so why don't we rename this to Downtown? Right? Just for funsies. What do we have here? Copy settings, duplicate. I don't think I want to delete it. We can center the view on it. Okay. The district center establishes a district with its own population, resources, and an isolated path network. Employs builders. The folktales have a motto: comfort, food, and sturdy wood. All right. Can migrate population. I'm not sure what that's about. I don't think it matters. We don't want to mess with that now. We have 2 workers. Now, what is this error here? Vacant. If I... not sure about that. We have priorities here. So we have workplace priority of, yeah, we've got 5 priorities. Prioritize building by haulers. I'm not sure I want to do that. Looks like we are storing our water and berries in this building. Okay. What else have we got on the interface here? Here's our global view. We can travel back and forth between our districts. Cycle 1, day 1. This is like our calendar, I guess. We can see here we have mild weather. Here's our time manipulation tool. I believe these are working hours, so we can make them work through the night and not rest if we want to. What are these buttons? Show construction guidelines. Hold X to toggle. Okay, I guess that's something. I can turn that on, but then it doesn't... The toggle doesn't seem to work, but that's okay. Not sure. I guess that helps me like make things like flat or whatever. We'll get to that. Show storage overlay. I don't think we have any storage. And then what is this? Hide water. T to toggle water. Okay. And then we've got visible layers here. Okay, so I can dig into reality, kind of take a quicker look at everything. I think we'll leave that off for now. Reset visible layers. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. And then down here at the bottom on our hotbar, we have cut trees. What is this? Mark cutting area. Use this tool to mark areas where trees will be cut down. Unmark. Okay. We've got plant crops. Carrots, sunflowers, potatoes, wheat, spatter dock. Required building, aquatic farmhouse. So that is some sort of fish, I guess? Or maybe it's a plant that grows, it's a plant that grows in water. Okay. And same with cattails. All right, so those won't be available to us until we unlock and build an aquatic farmhouse. All right, what else have we got? Plant trees and bushes. Looks like we need to uncover all of this or unlock all of this. It seems like it's locked. I think that's what that little, I think that's a little padlock. All right, so what do we have? Blueberries, dandelions, birch, pine, chestnut tree, maple, oak. We require a forester to do it. Demolish buildings and resources. We can demolish buildings, delete rubble, mark resources for demolition, assign priorities. Okay, so there's a quick way to assign priorities here. Paths and structures. Looks like right off the bat, we do have the path. Buildings must be connected by paths. We've got stairs, if we can get some science. Spiral stairs, platform. A raised platform which can act as a bridge or a foundation for other buildings. It's solid, so other buildings can be built on its top, and it looks like you can pass underneath it. Double and triple platform. Zipline stations, a quick and thrilling mode of travel. That sounds fun. Zipline pylon, beam, suspension bridges, overhangs, metal platform. Some of this is very expensive. Okay, what else have we got? Landscaping. Dam. Blocks water, but allows some to pass through a spillway at the top. It's solid. We've got a levee. Blocks off water completely. So a dam blocks water, but allows some to pass through a spillway at the top. Okay. Levee completely blocks off water. But I assume if the water level rises above it... Okay, so these are slightly different versions of the same thing. We have a floodgate, blocks water up to an adjustable height, double floodgate, triple floodgate, a sluice, a unidirectional automated water discharge, impermeable floor. Okay, so we can build aqueducts with that. Contamination barrier. Stop soil contamination from spreading beneath it. Must be built on the ground. Interesting. An explosives factory, dynamite, double dynamite, triple dynamite, a tunnel. Ooh. I didn't see anybody build this in the playthrough that I watched. Tunnels through terrain, replacing it with a platform. Use the layer tool to see under terrain or structures. Got a dirt excavator. This is all advanced stuff. Terrain block, an artificial block of terrain. Interesting. Okay. We've got storage. We've got a small pile, stores bulky resources, capacity 20. A large pile, capacity 180. Underground pile, stores bulky resources, capacity 1,000. Ground only must be built on the ground. Underground depth 2. We've got warehouses, medium warehouses. Okay, so I'm not sure what the difference between a pile and a warehouse is, except I guess you can build, yeah, you can build another building on top of a warehouse. You got tanks for storing liquids. Okay. District management. I could build another one and establish another district. We've got a hauling post. Haulers assist workers within a district in carrying goods, greatly increasing their productivity. Builder's hut and district crossing. Balances goods between two connected districts. I'm not sure how far into districts we're going to get. We're going to stick with the basics here. We do have a lodge. Allows 3 inhabitants to gain sleep and shelter needs. Mini lodge fits 1. Double lodge fits 6. Triple lodge fits 9. We have 12 beavers right now, so we could get away with building 4 lodges. What else have we got? Water. We've got a basic water pump. We get 3 drops of water, or 3 units of water per hour. I believe somebody has to work it for that to happen. Pumps and filters water for beavers to drink. Bad water contamination slows down its pumping speed. Maximum depth 2, requires access to water. Got a large water pump. I think, yeah, this is much more efficient. Bad water pump, or fluid dump. Discharges water or bad water. Okay. Stream gauge. Mechanical fluid pump. Some more advanced stuff. What else we got? We got food. A gatherer flag. Okay. Gathers resources from wild plants. We're going to want one of those for our berries. We're probably going to want to focus early on food and water. So we're going to want storage for our berries and somebody gathering them. We're going to want storage for wood and somebody chopping things down. I imagine it makes the most sense. What makes the most sense to chop first? These are the most efficient, right? If we they take the longest to grow back. So it probably makes the most sense to chop the oaks first and get them started growing. Like, use the most efficient resources first. So we'll chop all the oak, then we chop all the pine, then we chop all this birch. By the time we've worked our way through all of that, probably, hopefully, maybe the pines have grown back. We do a cycle of pine, birch, and then the oaks are back. But I know we're going to want storage for the logs, and we're going to want a forester to replant these trees. I'm not quite sure if I have to unlock something to replant the oaks, but I think we want to use the most efficient resources first, even though we'll need a long path to make that work. But probably what we'll do is build some log storage over here so that as they chop, they can store the logs and don't have to... We can have haulers maybe, or somebody else bring them for building. Okay, so we have a gatherer flag. Efficient farmhouse employs farmers that plant and harvest crops. The expanded folktales design fits more workers. Okay. Gathers carrots, sunflower seeds, potatoes, and wheat. An aquatic farmhouse we read about. A grill can grill vegetables. So like here, it looks like 1 potato and 1/10 of a log gives me 4 baked potatoes in half an hour. So grill extends our food, letting us get more nutrition at the cost of a worker's time. So like right now we're eating these berries raw. What else do we have here? Not quite sure. What is this? Chestnuts and spatterdock. Okay, we're not going to have spatterdock for a while. Probably not chestnuts either, unless they come out of these trees. No, we don't have chestnut trees. We have oak, pine, and birch. Okay, so it looks like potatoes might be a good first crop for us. We have this grill unlocked. We have a grist mill, which can turn wheat into wheat flour. Got a bakery that can then turn the wheat flour into bread. So that's a longer chain. And then the beehive boosts the growth of nearby crops. Medium chance of bee sting. Interesting. So we're going to need science too, I guess. But it seems like maybe potatoes are a good starter. What do we have for... Let's see. Plant crops. We do have carrots. I didn't see a way to extend the value of carrots. We have potatoes, so carrots get me 3 carrots in 4 days. And I guess we just eat those raw. Potatoes, if I want to build up something a little bit more efficient, we can get potatoes in 6 days and then grill them to turn them into more valuable food. All right, wood here, we've got our lumberjack flag and our lumber mill to turn wood into planks. Then the forester, I think we want to get this unlocked pretty early. Gears are important. Paper, printing press, that's later for books. Tappers. Infusing planks with resin. Yeah, this is more advanced stuff. Metal. Where is the metal on the map? Let me take a look around. We should take a look at the map, actually. All right, so there's some metal over here and over there. There's a little bit of... There's a metal there that's relatively close. A fair amount of metal on the map. Now, how do I... What was the hide water toggle T? Me... Oh, I see. When I clicked on metal, it hid the water for me. Okay. It looks like the water is flowing this way. I don't really have a compass, so I don't know if there's a top or a bottom. Let's see if we can find... Well, let me finish what I was doing. So that was metal. We have power here. We have access to a water wheel, a power wheel, power shaft. Windmills are interesting, and then the gravity battery. The playthrough that I saw, the person was playing the other faction, so I don't think they had windmills. I think they had, like, better water wheels. Science, we have an inventor. Only beavers are allowed to work in this workplace. I don't know who else would work there. Observatory, refinery, bot part factory, and bot assembler. Okay. I think the other faction had some sort of automated science machine. Well-being here, we have a campfire, rooftop terrace, teeth grindstone. We can maybe unlock the shower, medical bed, contemplation spot. There's some good stuff here. Then we got a bunch of decorations. Right now we only have shrubs, monuments. This is late game stuff. What is this? That's my settings. Okay, all right. So 23 minutes in, I've gotten a good look at the interface. I did warn you guys this was going to be a little bit of a slow playthrough. Let's take a look at the water here. So where's my water source? Looks like we've got one water source here. So on a drought, this will dry up and this will stop flowing. And on a bad tide, this will become bad water. Looks like there's kind of a ravine here in the water. But yeah, that does look like one of the main sources. What is this? That's a source as well. Those are 4 source stones there. So we've got water sources coming from 2 places here, feeding into this area, which runs past our district. Looks like... I don't see another source here. And that flows that way. Oh no, those are sources, right? Those are source stones? No, that's a blockage. Okay, let me click on... Okay, so this would start flowing through these areas if we unblocked it. That's much later on. Let me double check that I'm right about the source stones. Water source. Okay. Yeah, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 5 source stones there, and I think we've got another pair over here. Yeah, or 3 more over here. So we're playing on easy. It's going to be a while before we have to worry about a bad tide, but a drought could happen. That water's pretty elevated. We could potentially dam this off and create a reservoir of sorts. This is fairly elevated too. Both of these are pushing in here. This is coming through here as well. And past our area. We do have a little bit of elevation here, pushing down, right? So, let's see, what do we have? That's all blocked off. The river kind of comes to like here and then opens up into this big section. I do see, okay, here's our bad water source. Looks like this flows into the river this way. So having a dam here would be cheap to build, right? Putting a dam here would be very cheap. We could maintain water through our first couple of droughts as the sources dried up, right? So essentially, let me see if I understand this correctly. So if we build a dam, let's say we build a dam right here, right? Just build this dam here. Then the water will continue to flow over the dam until everything above this level of water has dried out during the drought, which means we would have this as a reservoir. So later on, we could conceivably build another dam here-ish to hold in this water and not let it flow, or restrict its flow or control its flow so that all of this water stays during a drought and we sort of let it trickle in. We kind of like, as this starts to dry out, we open this up a little bit, let some of this reservoir drain into our lower level reservoir and maintain access to the water. So all of this green area here around, if we do that, kind of all the green area around and up to wherever we put the dam, will stay green throughout a drought as long as we don't let the water drop, right? So that's a priority as well. We're playing on easy, so it should be quite a while before our first drought. But I think we do want to, at the very least, prioritize getting some sort of dam built over here. I think that's going to be important. That'll let us survive our first drought. Even if everything up here dries up, that's fine. And then later on, we're going to have to figure out how to deal with a bad tide. So like ideally, at some point, if I had, for example, access to dynamite, I could dig a channel through here and put up some walls and let the bad tide from this source flow off the map. I would need some automated sluice gates as well. I did learn about that for my playthrough. But we would want probably the most efficient way to do it. I mean, I could... What do we have here? There's like 3 levels here. So I'd have to go 1, 2, 3. I'd have to have a lot of dynamite to dig that channel. Whereas if I came over, I'm still going to need a lot of dynamite no matter what. But I could theoretically dig a channel through here. I can do the math later to figure out how much dynamite I need and what's going to be the most efficient path. But I can either dig through here and have it fall off the map there, or I can dig over here and have it fall off the map there, right? That's a ways off. Alternatively, where is it going to flow if I don't do that, right? So let's say I put something here. This is all going to flood with bad water, and it's going to go over here. Maybe, yeah, we already have bad water there, and it's not bothering us. So maybe we unblock this and let all the bad tide flow there as a start, and then come up with something more advanced later. So we got a bad water source there. Where else? There's 2, it looks like there's 2 bad water sources. Yeah, there's one here in this weird aqueduct thing. Okay, That's all later stuff. We need to get started on our first day. So we have food and water. Those are priorities. Food, water, and logs, right? So like I said, I think we want to harvest these first. And then we're going to want to harvest these. So I think putting storage for logs here is a good start. Do we have any logs at all? No. So I guess I need piles then, right? Because like this requires 3 logs to build. This requires 2 logs to build. All right. Let's see what a plan would look like. All right, so let's say now I can build these on top of each other. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to fit 2 in there. What does this hold? 200? All right, so we might just leave, yeah, we might go 1, 2, 3 like that. That'll give us capacity to store 600 logs, and then I can build 2 more on top of them and put staircases on either side so that people coming to retrieve logs can go up, and people storing logs from there can go up. It also serves as good storage for this pine when we start kicking into that. So this costs 15 logs. I think we do a temporary. I think we start with a temporary small pile right here. Let's build that. And then we're going to need, let's see, to cut trees, I need a flag, right? Wood. All right, lumberjack flag. Employs a lumberjack that cuts trees, gathers logs, medium chance of broken teeth. All right, so I want this to cover all of these oaks and then as much of the pines as possible. Let's see, that's not quite right. There we go, that looks good. So let's build our lumberjack flag here. Obviously, we're going to need paths, but they should start cutting down these and putting the logs in there. And then let's assign this a high priority, not the highest priority. We want to reserve that for emergencies, but we want this to be built first. And then once this is built and filled up with logs, then we can build a medium warehouse next to it. And we can get started that way, right? So there's that. So this guy is going to let us chop these down. Let's mark them for cutting. Let's cut down all of the adult oak trees. That seems fine. And then we are going to want a forester to restore those, but I think I'm going to need to, I can't remember where that is. Let's see, plant crops, plant trees and bushes. Required building forester, so that's not here. Landscaping? Damn. Where's forester? District management? Hauling post, builder's hut. Housing, water, wood. Here we go. Lumber mill, forester. All right, this is going to require 30 science. I think it's important that we get this going very quickly. And then we have to deal with food and water. So we have food in the form of berries here. We are going to want a farm sooner rather than later, but we can start with just the berries. Let's see. We're going to need, so I have to assign someone here, right? All right, lumberjack flag. Employs a lumberjack that cuts trees. It is too far from a district and cannot be reached. Build more paths or new, okay. So as a construction site, I can assign a priority. As a workplace, I can assign a priority. I don't think we need to worry about that. The only thing that matters is that this small pile is built first so that they're, I don't even know if I need that or if they would take the logs directly here since there's nowhere else for them to take that. Let's look at building a path. So let's see, paths and structures, basic path. We're going to take advantage of this natural slope. I don't know if this, does this have to be connected? I'm not sure if the path, if this has to be connected, but let's assume it does. Let's go ahead and build a path here. Connect it to that. We're gonna want a path along all of this as well. So let's have this come up to here and go along there. Okay, that I can actually see it connecting in, so that's good. We'll bring this over to the trees for now. That seems fine, right? Okay. So there's going to be more storage here, and later some stairs to a second floor of storage. Oh, once this is built, we want this to hold logs. Where's the logs? So we have gears. This is food. This is materials. I don't see logs. Gears, paper, books, pine resin, dandelions, explosives. Bot chassis, bot limbs, bot heads, punch cards. Maybe the storage can't hold logs. Do I have to change something else? Accept goods, obtain, supply, empty. What about this? Oh, this can hold, okay, this can hold logs. Okay. So maybe storage, maybe I can't do this. Stores goods, okay. Let's get rid of that. So I guess I would need a large pile? What does that look like? Okay, that's very different. Okay, let's delete that. Now how do I redraw the path? Let's see. Paths and structures. Oh, do I want demolish? There was a demolish button, right? Demolish buildings. Maybe if I go to paths? How do I delete the path? Can I select multiple paths here? I can obviously do this, but is there a better way to delete this? Let me try... Does it count as a building? It does. Okay. All right, so if I'm going to have log piles here, looks like it's going to look like this. This can hold 180, so I probably want like 4 of these-ish. Let's see if I can fit that. No, I'm not going to be able to. So... All right, so this will be 300 plus 320. No, 300 plus 240. This will be 540 logs, I guess. That's probably enough, right? And then we'll put our path back now that we have it designed correctly. Like this. All right, that's probably enough log storage for this group of trees, I think, most likely. So that's a good start for that. Let's make one of these slightly high priority. Okay. Now, this has to get built, and then we have to connect our path up. We'll do that in a second, right? Everything's paused. We're not doing anything yet. We've got 8 adults, right? So we're going to have one guy in here. He's going to be chopping wood down. We might want a second one. Let's do this. Let's copy this. No, that's not how that works. Duplicate. There we go. Okay, so we'll have 2 woodcutters. I think that's probably good. Let's extend our path. Like that. That seems good. Okay, so that's wood cutting taken care of. Water's going to be another problem. Let's see. We probably want somebody to gather these berries. So let's look at setting up a gathering. Not plant crops. Food. Gather flag. Yes. Okay. We are going to want a gather flag. I guess this can kind of go wherever. Let's stick it here for now. And then we're going to need a storage place because we can store berries in here, but we're going to want more storage. What does this give me? 3 berries. 3 berries per harvest, I guess. And there's what? Like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. There's maybe 40, maybe 50. Let's call it 50 bushes here. So that's going to be 150 berries. I guess 1 large pile should do it. If large piles are... I forgot to set these to logs. So, okay, we're not going to store berries in these types of things. Here we go. Copy settings. If I click those... Yeah, now it's on logs. Okay. So I think we do want storage here for the berries, it seems. Let's take a look at this. No. 1 medium warehouse should be able to store all these berries, right? So let's pop that there. That gives us a space for a path behind. That's great. Let's set this to berries. There we go. Okay. Let's get our path going. I guess we're going to have a path behind here. There might be something else that we plop in here. I'm not sure. But for now, let's just make sure we have these set up with paths and everything. So we'll have a path back here. Like that. Okay, that seems good. Why don't we, you know what, since we've got some space, let's set up our science because we're going to want somebody doing science. How many jobs have we got right now? We've got 2 lumberjacks, 1 berry gatherer, right? I guess we've got 2 builders. Yeah, employees, builders. We've got 2 builders. We can throw 2 more people in there to get stuff built quickly, I guess, once we have logs available. Yeah, let's get our first scientist down here. So we'll put an inventor back here. I guess we can just give up on that little section. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, so we're going to have one scientist doing science work for us to unlock stuff. That covers food and logs. We're going to need water. So where's the right place to collect the water? We want kind of like a long, flat stretch, I guess. Like this might be decent. It's a little far away. Why don't I actually connect up my path here? Let's just do that. Now everything's connected. Let's double check. Too far from a district, cannot be reached. Okay, so I guess we need to connect the path to the front. Let's do that. There we go. Now it's connected. And I can see, yeah, I can see this green stuff. Okay, the green line, I think, shows me that everything's connected. Okay. So that's 2 lumberjacks, a scientist, a gatherer. That's 4 adults. We've got 2 builders. That leaves us with 2 adults left to do water hauling. So if we look at water storage... Now, I guess we still have to extract the water from the river, even if we build the dam later. We still have to extract the river. So we're going to need pumps. We have the basic water pump. It's kind of crappy. It's very inefficient. So we want to get the large water pump unlocked pretty quick, which is going to cost 400 science. There's other things we want science for as well. But for now, let's look at water storage. So we have the water pump. I think we have the small tank can hold 30. All right. So let's get a temporary solution going, right? Because this is not going to be permanent. We want something that's going to hold us off until we can unlock more stuff. We're going to need more scientists for sure. But let's get something temporary going. So if we build 2 water pumps, how does this work? Okay. You build a water pump there and there. Okay. So we'll need a path leading in front of there. Well, what do we want for our path here? It depends where we're going to put the tanks and how they connect. I'm actually not sure how they connect. So storage, small tank. Does it just have to be like on the same path? Yeah, probably it has to be on the same path. So let's do something like 1, 2, 3, 4 for now. And then we're going to want a path there. Okay, so we want to reserve as much of the green as possible for farms and growing. We want our like living and industrial areas to be over here, I think. So I think for now, yeah, well, we want to take advantage of as much of this space as possible. So let's have a path that kind of skirts the edge here of the greenery. Something like that. And then we are going to have something come down so they can walk on it and connect here. So for now, we'll just do this. We'll connect those up like that. And then this can maybe be reserved for a farm later. We're going to need to regrow this. So I think, what's our first science? I think our first science has to be the forester, right? Because logs are not renewable until we get our forester up, which is, let me see, wood. The forester costs 30 science, so we can get that early. All right. So once this is built, we can assign workers. That's going to be 1, 2 adults there, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 2 builders. That accounts for all of our adults. We can let our kids grow up. Once all of this is built, we can begin planning out things like living space and growing our population with the, what are they called, breeding tubes or something? There's some kind of way you build something to breed more. Polling post. I don't actually know how that works. Food, wood, metal, power, science, well-being, decorations. Where is the? How do I grow more beavers? Does it consider beavers a crop? Paths and structures, landscaping, storage. You'd think it'd be in district management. No. Housing, water, food, efficient farmhouse, bakery, beehive. I don't remember seeing smelter. How do I get more beavers? Rooftop terrace, teeth grindstone, shower, medical bed, contemplation spot, Lido, herbalist, agora, carousel. Roofs. Yeah, how do I get more beavers? Today, maybe I don't need the breeding pod for this faction. Actually, that's an interesting question. Is there a... Maybe I'll just play through the tutorial here. Okay. Well, we can worry about things like lodging and reproduction later. For now, we have our basics covered and planned out, right? So we've got a plan to chop down these oaks and store the logs here. We've got a plan to get some gathering going and store the berries. We've got a science hut and we've got water. So for right now, we want an additional 2 builders. And let's hit the play button and see what happens. Okay. So, all right, let me pause real quick. What are you actually doing here? You're homeless. You work at the district center. Carries nothing. It doesn't say what you're doing. We don't have any logs, so I'm not sure how they're going to build anything without first. Does this not require anything? Okay, this doesn't require anything. So they're going to come build these lumberjack flags, I think. All right, let's watch them build the lumberjack flags, shall we? Yes, they are building. These don't require resources to build. Perfect. Okay, I can pause with the space bar too. Watch the little beavers beavering away. Who are these guys? This is Ambliz and Sivokul. All right. So now we've got these. We need to get these staffed immediately. Okay, they're auto-staffed for me. So Vobinis and Hakalai are going to be my lumberjacks. And hopefully they're going to come over here, start chopping down these trees and providing lumber to build the other things. Now, I wonder if I shouldn't, just to get things kick-started, if I shouldn't build like 2 additional things here, because it's going to be a minute before... It's going to be a minute before these other buildings get built. We've got 4 builders who are doing nothing right now. We've got 2... Oh, this thing got built as well. So we got 1 beaver in here gathering resources. Did I properly... No, I don't think I did. I think I need to... Efficient farmhouse. So... Where was... Use this tool to designate an area for planting. I don't want to plant crops. Are they get? Do I have to specify to gather this like I did with the trees, or will they just gather anything in range? Oh, it looks like I don't have to specify. He's just going to gather everything. Okay. Now, he doesn't have anywhere to put it right now. On reflection, I do think a couple additional temporary... Because my builders have nothing to do until we get more logs. So let me temporarily build a couple more. Let's see. I'm getting used to the interface, guys. Wood, lumberjack flag. Yeah, let's get 2 additional lumberjack flags going. And we'll temporarily have 4 lumberjacks until we build up a little bit of a stockpile and can... Okay, we'll go down to 2 builders. And hopefully that gets us a lot of folks cutting down trees. Yeah, these guys are cutting down trees. That's good. Hopefully, since this has the construction priority of +1, hopefully they just take these logs straight over here and dump them in, and then the builders will come and finish it later. I kind of want to see that happen. So we got 3 unemployed. Now 1 unemployed. Okay, that's good. So 4 lumberjacks right now. We've got 4 lumberjacks and 1 gatherer actually working, plus... That's 5 out of 8. I guess we can stick somebody else in here for now. And then once we have enough logs that either the science gets built or one of the pumps gets built, we can assign one of those folks. Let's look at our resources here. We are gathering berries, so we've gone up from 300 to 312. Are those stored here? No, it's stored in the hauling. It's stored in the hauling thing, or in the gathering box. It's got storage of up to 20. Okay. That's okay. As they start to eat things and drink things, we'll see those numbers go down. All right, so the main thing is we've got 4 lumberjacks cutting down wood here. It looks like they are producing my first storage. That's great. I think I'm actually going to lower priority on this 3rd one. Yeah, these 2 storages are more than we can more than we need right now. So until everything else is built, we'll just set this on a lower priority, right? So they start taking logs somewhere else. I think I'm going to pop the priority on the science up by 1. Can't get all required materials. Well, you'll get them eventually. So we'll get our scientist working, and then we'll put one of our pumpers and one of our small tanks up by 1 as well to get that kind of synergy going as well. Right? So where are we? We're on day 1, mild weather. We're near the end of the workday here. That's okay. So we've got our progress for the first day as we come to a close here is that we've gotten 4 of these lumberjack flags built and 2 storage piles for logs. Plus, we have our gatherer gathering berries, And we've got our plan, right? Okay. So let's, we're near the end of the first day. These guys have nowhere to sleep, so they're just going to collapse onto the ground. Let's keep an eye on our resources. We're at 320. So we've got 300 berries in the district, and we've got 20 berries in here, which means this guy can't do anything right now, right? He can't do anything. That's okay. We don't need him to do anything because we have that stockpile of starter food, right? And we've got 16 logs stored, I guess. And here, as we come to the end of the day, everybody stops working. All right, let's speed through the first night here. Unfortunately, I don't have shelter for you guys. Everybody sleeps. Looks like they had like a long period of relaxation first. And now we get back to working. Okay, so 0 logs, 0 logs. So nobody's storing logs in the piles right now. That's fine. We are making our way through these oaks. I need that forester to replant those. So this is a leftover. Yeah, these aren't going to grow back. That's fine. All right. Looks like we're going to get our science building built. There we go. Okay. No available workers. Okay. So let's pause here. I don't think we need 3 builders. I would like to see one of you guys get out of here. I don't know what he was building. There we go. Now he's available. And he's moved over to start working on science. Okay. So we should see our science value start to go up as he starts to work. That's fine. I guess as the woodworkers cut down wood, they're taking them over here and storing them here in their pile thingy. You know what? If that's what they're doing, let's give them a path. I don't quite understand. So maybe there's a prioritize building by haulers. Not quite sure why they would choose to put them in their workstations rather than the closer pile. But if that's what they're doing, let's give them another path here. There we go. That's a little bit faster for them. I guess once these fill up, because these can hold up to 20 logs. Once these fill up, presumably they store them in there, or I might need a dedicated class for that. A hauler class. I'm not sure. Okay. But my builders should come, retrieve a log. Yep, okay. So builders come and retrieve a log. Looks like they're slower when they're carrying. Can I see you? Carries 2 logs, 12 of 14 kilograms. Got it. Okay. Looks like they're working on my water pump now. That's good. We're doing fine for food and water for now. It's day 2 of cycle 1. That's great. Looks like they're also working on this warehouse. You know what? You are not doing anything, so... How do I remove you here? How do I get you out of here? This is interesting. I can't seem to remove him here. If I lower the workplace priority, now he'll leave and go become a builder. Okay, that's kind of weird. Oh, I could have just done that. Yeah, I could have just done that. I could have paused that. Okay, well, that's fine. We don't have a huge priority on that. We've got 4 lumberjacks chopping down oak and gathering logs. We're slowly burning into our food. So they're eating from the district first. All right, okay. I'm learning as I go, guys. We got 5 science. Okay, once we get to 30, we can get our forester going. Now, if I pause this and look at my, yeah, one of my children grew into an adult. So we have another worker available. I think I might want a second science building here. So it's not an urgent priority, but let's get that set up. And then we'll set the construction priority down by 1. So once everything else is done, we'll build another science center. We do have a worker pumping water here at this crappy pump. This is another priority, is to get better pumps. Also, we do want to get over here relatively soon. I don't think it's a huge rush for the first drought, but sooner or later we want to build our dam over here. What are we building? Putting logs in there. Putting logs in there. Okay. Yeah, we need that 30 science to get the forester going. And then we might transition one of our current lumberjacks into a forester position. But it looks like, you know, it looks like we've got things up and running here. Now you're working. Okay, so the pump itself can store water, 15 water, and then the small tank can store up to 30. Okay. I don't know if we're going to be able to, well, we need drinking water. They are drinking out of the district. So yeah, we do need some form of pumping going on because the beavers will consume the water resources, right? Okay, they're working their way through these oaks. We're going to have to start cutting down pines soon. We need that forester to regrow these oaks and these pines. I mean, we have plenty of pine and birch to work our way through, but the sooner we can get that forester up, the better for making sure we restock our resources, that our renewable resources are being renewed. And it looks like with that, we've come to the end of our second day. Okay, all right. So I'm getting a feel for the game. I don't know that there's a more efficient use of my beavers, right? Because we've got, I guess we don't need 3 builders, but I don't have a better job for them until I build up some more infrastructure, right? So I don't know that we need like a 5th, 6th, 7th woodcutter here. I guess it doesn't really cost me anything, so I could have them do it. Logs are definitely our limiting resource right now. So it might indeed, well, no, we've got 65 logs. We've got 3 builders. What exactly are they working on? They're working on this small tank because that has priority +1. Medium warehouse. With 3 builders, you would think maybe it's just all the time it takes for them to get over here and retrieve logs. Yeah, the only thing with logs in it right now is this medium warehouse, which is fine, and this small tank. So, I don't know. I mean, I guess having 3 builders is probably good. Nobody's unemployed. So what do we got? We got 4 lumberjacks, 1 scientist. That gets us to 5. 3 builders and a pumper gets us to 9, right? So I guess we're fine as we are. Let's speed through the night here. I think we're coming up to the end of the first episode. And I know this has been slow. It's been a slow start as I kind of learn the game and whatnot. So yeah, the lumberjacks are cutting down the oaks, putting logs. Yeah, we can see the logs starting to fill into the pile here. We got tons of logs. We got our 3 builders building things. Okay, so we did get access to this warehouse. We already have it prioritized for berries. We've got plenty of food. I don't know if I need to unpause this gatherer right now. As long as we keep an eye on our food and water, with only 12 beavers total, I guess it's fine to leave things as they are. Looks like our pump got built as well. Now, what is this? We have to specify that this is for water. Okay. And then I can copy the settings, paste them there once those get built. All right. If we were going to finish our tutorial, looks like we already built the paths. Yep, we already did this. We already did this. Okay. Next is going to be farming. All right. So next episode, we'll look into setting up some sort of farm here. Yeah, I guess having these on this path to collect water isn't great because it uses up green space. I'll have to see if there's a better... Well, I guess I'm not too sure about how else I would do it. Because it has to be on the path. Maybe it doesn't have to be near the pumpers themselves. Maybe I could have put liquid storage here. I don't know. We'll have to experiment with that. But the majority of this area, I think, will become our first farm. We'll want to cross over, maybe build some more farms as well. We're going to want more trees. Once we get foresters going as well in the green areas. So I might not replant these trees. I might make this entire area farming. And then, I don't know. We'll have to see what makes sense. But next episode will probably be farming and lodging. But our first 2 days, not too bad, right? We learned a lot about how the game works for the very, very basics. We made our way through parts of the tutorial. We got a little bit of infrastructure up and running. So basic food and water are covered. Basic industry with logging is covered. Feels good, right? It feels like a good start. The first 2 days, our beavers in Beaverton, in downtown Beaverton, made a start on their future. And while I don't quite know how to repopulate once these beavers start getting old and dying, hopefully we'll figure that out by next time. Anyway, that's going to be it for this time, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I realize this was a very slow opener, but hopefully as I progress through the game... What is this? It's just... Yeah, okay, that's fine. Hopefully as I progress through the game, we'll get a little bit faster. We'll build up our infrastructure. Hopefully playing slow and planning carefully will yield benefits. But that's going to be it for this time. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.